Hello, this is chapter 2. I'm doing exercise 2.2, making a cake. So with my visualizations based in comparison from Leslie to Diana, it was very clear to me that after I went back and I looked at what I drew for both of them, that I definitely had more descriptors and a lot more visual aids in Leslie's visuals rather than Diana's, mostly because after looking at both of them, I saw a lot more information in Leslie's and less in Diana's, making it more vague, more boring, less connection. For the study questions, I said there's a lot of difference between both, or all of them, all three of them. Number one, I said that the difference in the number one picture was the thought bubble. I just kind of drew a thought bubble. I didn't really put a picture in the thought bubble when the actual illustration had the cake imagined more descripting than what I initially thought of in the first place. The second picture, the other thing that was different is, if I can read my handwriting, is picture 3. The woman is in that illustration. I actually ended up only drawing the woman in 2 of my illustrations that I drew in my visual aids. And that I thought was interesting because usually what I thought of when I was hearing it, when I was reading through it, blah, 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 long story short, I really just thought of mixing bowl. I thought of the gradients. I thought of the cake coming out of the oven. I didn't really necessarily include the woman because I already assumed that, hey, if this is not just gonna make itself, the woman's are obviously over there. This is what's important, not the woman. And I thought that was interesting that I just kind of made that kind of wave off in a way, I guess you can say. I said number 3, the third picture. This is the study questions, by the way. I don't know if I said that already. It was the 6th picture where I drew the woman actually sitting over way off onto the side, kind of in the living room, but in the actual visual, I don't know what it's called, but in the actual descriptive pictures seen on page 71, it shows her legit right by the oven. So I thought that was interesting too, seeing how I kind of pictured it based off how the book pictured it. The cat's expressions, all the expressions on the face, if I did have the woman in the picture, the facial expressions were there. Same with the visual aid shown on page 71 that they gave me. The woman and the cat's facial expression is clearly shown. I thought that was interesting because I've known for a very long time, as wanting to become an interpreter, how facial expressions are literally the most important part of ASL, period. If you don't have facial expressions, you don't have a voice, really. You don't have emotion coming out of you. And I thought that was really interesting to see how I put emotion on the face, whether it was a frowny face, sad face, grumpy face, I put that on there, and it really showed to me how much I actually cared about facial expressions and emotion, even though I really wasn't thinking about it. So number 7, I said the woman featuring all the pictures. I said that. And then the 8th picture that I thought was different was in the page 71 illustration. It showed the actual peanut butter and jelly and the woman scooping it out. I just kind of point blank, hey, she has a sandwich, she's upset, the cat's upset in the story. But in the visual aid, it actually shows she's upset, she's scooping the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, she's putting it on there, and the cat's upset. It's a little bit more descriptive than what I initially thought of while reading through this, which I thought was interesting. And then number 2, I thought Diana was very vague with description, which made it very hard for me to visualize at all. Made me have to think a little bit more creatively and add some more things, even though it's not really necessarily what she said. And it was very hard for me to do that, to think creatively or to bounce off one word that's not really descriptive in the first place. I thought Leslie was very, very descriptive, and I liked her idea of, or I liked her saying, hey, these are the different type of ingredients that she's putting in the mixing bowl. This is flour, eggs, milk. The way she described that was still I can think, oh, like, she's taking this, she's taking this, she's taking this, and she poured it in there, and she's mixing it up. When Diana was like, oh, she took the ingredients, put it in the bowl, mixed it up, we're good to go. Leslie was definitely more of process by process by process, but each process being very descriptive. Diana was very straight to the point, and you couldn't really get that much creativity or imagination with it, which made it very hard for me to draw it out, honestly. Yeah. So just going through number 2, just kind of like excluding the cat. I did not include the cat on a lot of my photos because I didn't really think it was very necessary to have that cat in there. I thought, hey, like, if the woman was mad already, like, it's going to show on her face. I don't think, like, a worried cat is really going to affect the story that much. But I thought it was interesting because in the sixth picture on Diana's response, I said the same. It looked the same from page 71 to my picture, sitting down reading a book, the cat being where in the picture, or being present in the picture. The facial expressions in all my illustrations are the same, whether the woman's upset, smiling, grumpy, etc., etc. It was shown. Number 8 is in picture 8, it's the same. Included all elements, all facial expressions again. The cat, the peanut butter and jelly, the everything in between. It was included. And then the transcript I read through. And then the 5-step follow-up will be in pictures and uploaded onto Moodle. And that's all that I have to share with you. So thank you.